A Senate hearing focused on last year's mid-air crash near Reagan National Airport brought some blunt statements from NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy.
The question before us is how many more people need to die before we act?
Here's 7 News reporter Tom Rousey.
They talked about the need to require, at least in busy areas like the D.C. area, this technology that has helicopters and planes broadcast their position, and also they can see the position of other aircraft nearby. The chair of the NTSB, Jennifer Homendy, said at the hearing that if that had been installed properly in both the helicopter and the plane that collided that night, the plane would have gotten an alert nearly a minute before the collision and had plenty of time to avoid it. And then the helicopter also would have gotten an alert closer to 48, 49 seconds before the collision.
Joining us to go deeper on this now is Timothy Loranger, a senior partner at the law firm representing the families of victims in this crash. He's also a licensed pilot and a former Marine Corps aircraft mechanic. Thank you for joining us. The big question for you right now is, what does accountability look like? We know there are big suits in this case. What do you want to see right now?
Well, what we've heard from the NTSB is that they've done a very good investigation. They've pointed out a lot of the failures that are systemic in this problem. And accountability for the families is changes being made to the system to avoid this ever happening again.
This may seem like a basic question, but who are the defendants in this case? Is it the airline, the Army, the government? Who are families looking to hold accountable here?
Sure. In this case, it's the government. It's specifically through the FAA and its management of the airspace around DCA, and it's also the military for the operation training and the acts of the pilots who were flying the Black Hawk, and then also it's the airlines for their knowledge of this being a very challenging airspace with many prior near misses and not doing something about avoiding that airspace or asking that it be changed.
So is this something that you think is going to go to trial, and how difficult would that be for families?
I can tell you that litigation is very challenging for families. It's something that hangs over their head. Every day they wonder about when they're going to get notice of change, that people are taking this very seriously. So it is being prepared by excellent lawyers to go to trial. I'm working with an amazing team of aviation experts, and it will go to trial as far as we're concerned, and there will be accountability.
It was fairly shocking about a month ago or so when there was the government admitting some fault in this crash, but pointed fingers of blame in other directions. How is that going to factor into what you guys pursue here?
Well, that is actually helpful in the ultimate pursuit of justice, because that means that the parties who are responsible are going to be investigating each other to some degree. That means that more information will become available. And plus, those entities and parties will be interested in showing that they were not responsible, at least for the entire event. So more information will come out. More information is always good.
This was the deadliest air disaster in the U.S. in 20 years. Are there any legal parallels to this case that you can think of?
Well, it's a combination of issues. So we're talking about FAA air traffic control issues. Those have factored into cases or crashes, I should say, disasters like this in the past. I work on military aviation issues with regard to the training and operation of aircraft. All of those have factored in the past. I mean, this is a culmination of a lot of issues that have gone on that we've seen, unfortunately, in other cases.
There are all kinds of things that are happening now. There's the Rotor Act. All these different things have been put in place to say, hey, we need to make changes here to what happened at DCA and at this crash between the Army helicopter and the commercial airline. Do you think that as this unfolds, that will place more pressure on Congress to do something and change what happened at National?
I think it absolutely must. Will it have, hopefully, the people in Congress today, who have a lot going on, who are focused on a lot of different things, will feel and see and recognize the importance of this case to not only to the families who have been affected, but to the entire traveling public who fly in and out of DCA and other airports. Because even though this happened in one location, the effects of the change will make airline or safety for commercial aviation greater across the country.
Before we let you go quickly, are there any unanswered questions that you still have following the investigations that have come out that you hope will come out at trial, the answers?
Well, that's one thing that we're working very hard on, is to truly understand every aspect of what went wrong here. And so through the litigation, we believe that more information will become available and it will become public.
And Mr. Loranger, just one last question. Can you give us a feel for the timeline on all of this? How long do you think this might take?
Well, because there's a lot of parties involved and it's complicated. It involves the government. There's red tape. And even though we've seen the NTSB doing a very good job of its investigation, it could take a couple of years before there's full resolution to the case.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Please come back and update us.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's Timothy Loranger, senior partner at Wisner Baum, the law firm representing families of victims of the mid-air crash near Reagan National.